Today, we're going to dig into a really peculiar part of the US tax system. It's all about Social Security, millionaires, and one specific day of the year that's going to make you go, huh.
So what's the deal with March 9th? I mean, it's not a big holiday, it's not tax day. What on earth happens on this date that's so important for what we're talking about today?
Well, get this. By early March, if you're earning $1 million a year, you have already paid all of your Social Security taxes for the entire year. Yep, for the next 9.5 months, you contribute $0 to the program, while most of us are contributing from every single paycheck.
Okay, let's unpack this. How is that even possible? It's not some secret loophole or a clever accounting trick. Nope, it is built right into the system, and it all comes down to something called the cap. Think of it like a ceiling. The system is designed with a payroll tax cap, or also called a taxable maximum. All that means is you only pay Social Security tax on your income up to a certain amount. Every single dollar you earn above that limit, it's completely exempt from the tax. For the year 2026, that cap, that ceiling, is set at $184,500. So listen, it doesn't matter if you make $200,000 or $20 million, you pay Social Security tax on the exact same amount of income, that first $184,500. The tax rate itself is 6.2%, which is paid by you, the employee, and then your employer matches it with another 6.2%. Now, if your salary is $184,500, you're paying that 6.2% all year long. But if you make $1 million, you hit that max contribution of about $11,400 just a couple of months into the year. And then, bam, you're done.
So why does this cap matter so much? Why are we even talking about it? Well, it's a huge deal because Social Security, that bedrock safety net for millions of Americans, is staring down a massive funding problem. And this cap is right at the heart of the debate on how to fix it.
And this isn't some far-off theoretical issue. We're talking about right around the corner. The Social Security Administration's own report says the main retirement fund is projected to be depleted in 2033. The combined funds, which throw in disability insurance, run out just 2 years after that in 2035.
Now, hold on. Running out doesn't mean the checks just stop cold. Social Security is mostly a pay-as-you-go system, so money from today's workers is what pays for today's retirees. But, and this is a big but, once those reserve funds are gone, the tax money coming in will only be enough to cover about 79 to 83% of what's been promised. That means an automatic across-the-board benefit cut for everyone.
And this chart really gets to the why. It's a demographics problem, plain and simple. Back in 1980, you had over 3 workers paying into the system for every 1 person taking benefits out. Today, that's dropped to 2.3, and by 2040, it's expected to be just over 2. Baby boomers are retiring, people are living longer, the math just gets harder.
So we have this big problem hurtling towards us. And when you start looking at the possible solutions, they generally fall into 2 main camps. It's really a debate between bringing more money into the system or spending less money out of it.
On one side, folks are saying, let's increase revenue. The most common way to do that is to raise or just totally get rid of that payroll tax cap, forcing higher earners to pay that 6.2% on all their income, just like pretty much everybody else. On the other side, the focus is on cutting spending. A popular idea there is to raise the full retirement age, maybe to 70, which just means people get benefits for a shorter amount of time.
Now here is where things get really fascinating. You would probably assume that anyone earning over that $184,500 cap would be dead set against lifting it. I mean, it means they'd pay more in taxes, right? But an analysis from the Economic Policy Institute found a really surprising, counterintuitive dilemma.
And this quote just nails it. It turns out, for many high earners, the financial hit from a 20+% cut to their future Social Security benefits would actually be worse than the hit from paying more in Social Security taxes over their career. It really all boils down to a pretty straightforward calculation. You've got to weigh the cost of paying more in taxes today against losing a big chunk of guaranteed income when you're retired. And the answer isn't always what you'd think.
So let's look at the data, because this is where it really clicks. The EPI figured out this break-even salary. Just look at a 35-year-old. If they earn less than $236,000, they are actually financially better off if we scrap the cap. Why? Because the value of the future benefits they'd save is worth more than all the extra taxes they'd pay. And as you can see, the older you get, the higher that break-even number shoots up.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's this. When you actually run the numbers, about 70% of workers who earn more than the taxable cap would actually be better off financially just by getting rid of it. When you compare that to taking the huge automatic benefit cut that's coming if we do nothing.
But here's the thing. It doesn't matter which path lawmakers choose, raising the cap or cutting benefits, the Social Security Administration's report makes one thing painfully clear. Every single year we wait, this problem gets more expensive and way harder to solve.
According to that trustees report, if we acted today to make Social Security solvent for the next 75 years, it would take a permanent payroll tax increase of 3.33 percentage points. That's a significant number, no doubt, but it's manageable.
But look what happens if we just kick the can down the road until 2035, the year the funds are depleted. The required tax increase suddenly jumps to over 4 percentage points. The hole gets deeper, and the fix gets a whole lot more painful for everyone.
And this really captures the final message from the trustees themselves. Delaying just concentrates all of the pain on fewer and fewer generations down the line. Acting sooner means the burden can be shared more gradually and a lot more broadly.
So, at the end of the day, fixing Social Security isn't just a math problem. It's really a question of our values. Do we ask the highest earners to chip in more? Do we ask future generations to work longer or accept less? The real choice is about how we, as a society, decide to balance all of these trade-offs.